Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube station. Just finished watching Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, an absolutely wonderful game of Stratomatic baseball, card and dice, dead ball era, extra inning victory. Very fun. Check out Stratomatic, Delaware, and Chris. Great channel. And he just jumped in the chat. Speaking of a wonderful human being, Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. I was just saying that I just got off watching your Dead Ball Era game. Please share that so I can read it out. It was a wonderful extra inning game. I recommend checking out. Don't give the score. Don't give the score. I just realized I didn't want to. Just check it out. It's a great game. You'll enjoy it. If you like baseball, and if you're watching this, you must like baseball. So that's Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. Check out that channel. Absolutely wonderful. And once again, prayers and thoughts go out to your mom, Chris, for a speedy recovery. Also, I'm going to do some quick plugs here for team channels I watch. They're absolutely wonderful channels. Before I go to the recap and review of an absolutely marvelous game, which I was playing and listening to Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. And he said the games between the 1905 Giants and the 1911, that would be the Philadelphia Athletics, correct, Chris? That would be I believe that's the Philadelphia Athletics. So let me just quickly go to, as this is going to now, make sure that doesn't come up. All right. So some quick shout-outs to some really great channels, and that is the Philadelphia Athletics. First of all, I like to have a shout-out to Broke Black Man 94. He helps moderate my chat when he has the time. Go to Broke Black Man 94, BROKEBLACKMAN 94, does movie and TV reviews, a.k.a. David the Saint. Absolutely wonderful person. Also, another quick shout out to Phil the Issues Guy. Again, movie and TV reviews, fabulous channel, the most fan-friendly live podcast ever, with Joe Dirty Locks and Katie Crow. And then his gaming channel is Dirty Issues with Joe Dirty Locks and Taka. Another wonderful channel, Johnny Giants Bane, big Game of Thrones fan. That's Johnny Giants Bane. Check him out. JD, another wonderful person who helps moderate my chat when he has a chance. Big Game of Thrones fan, and he's an author. And then if you like boxing, a must subscribe. What's Blazing in Sports? With D-Tub. Excellent interaction with the live chat, reviewing boxing. Excellent channel. Then you have Eric from Higher Ground Gaming with Mr. Brody, Sports Retro Replays, and he just bought a new Dice and Cards game to which I mess up the name constantly. But it's a new Dice and board game, and check that out. Another fun channel. Tabletop Baseball with the Two Earls. Wonderful channel. Baseball Demos with David. Another great channel. Once again, Stratomatic Delaware with Chris, who's joined me in the chat. Thank you very much, my friend. And Greg J., who's a huge Tigers fan. Again, another great baseball retro replay channel. Also, check out ID Gesture. Sports sims and strategy games. And Chris, thank God for Chris in the chat from Stratomatic Delaware, as I butcher this name really. I mean, it sounds like a dirty movie when I say it. It's Dice Nuts. I think I've called it everything else but Dice Nuts. So he has Dice Nuts basketball, hockey, and I think he just said he picked up the football game. Is that correct, Chris? All right. So those are my quick shout-outs. You gotta check these channels out. Great people, great channels. And also check out, I almost forgot, Ron Junkett. Awesome channel. He writes for the Nationals. They have a website called District on Deck. Also, you want to check out his Retro Sports Network where he does retro gameplay. Now let's get to this recap of this unbelievable game. I had such fun. I was listening to Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, and we're going to get to Chris in a bit about projects that are coming up. And anyone else who jumps in who normally watches my channel, we're going to talk about projects for this time period. And you're going to, if you want, you can share what's coming up, whether you have a channel or not, and we'll discuss it. And because what I'd like to do is at least once a week do a live Google Hangout when everything for everyone calms down. We all have things going on with our families, so that'd be really cool to do that, I think. God knows I have a gazillion projects going in all kinds of different directions, but I do love doing this stuff. You meet a lot of nice people. Alrighty, let's just go to this. This was one of the funnest games I have played. So, just to give you, to set up the scene, we'll say. I'm cleaning the kitchen real quick. I click on my Kindle, and who's online playing a game? Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. I'm like, yay. Alright, put that on. Start doing what I have to do. Come back to my computer, shut down my Kindle. I have the game, Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, up on the computer, listening to it. And I said, now I'm jonesing to play another baseball game. So I said, what do I want to play? What do I want to play? I said, let me play some of my 1966 Red Sox season using Action PC Baseball. It's a fun game. So I'm playing it. And I'm just going to give you this recap. I played two of the best back-to-back games, but this is the game I just finished. It went 10 innings. The Red Sox rallied twice. They won 15-14 in 10 innings. In the top of the 10th, they were down 3 runs. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 10th. So let's just go through it. Bear with me. Humor me. If you're in the chat or you're watching, jump in the chat. We're going to discuss your channels, if you have a channel, and also what projects you're doing. It's a lot of fun. All right, so the Red Sox scored 1 run on 1 hit in the first. Tony Caligiero, Tony C, hit a solo blast that was number 22 off Earl Wilson, and the Red Sox took a 1-0 lead, and I felt good. I felt good. I had a really stinky pitcher going because right now the Red Sox, after this victory, are 63 wins and 57 losses, way ahead of their pace in reality. Detroit, 43 wins, 71 losses. So I'm way ahead of the pace with a lot of mixing and matching. So I do a lot of crazy things when I play the 66 Red Sox. I mean, I use starting pitchers to come in to give me an inning, you know, out of the bullpen, because I want to win so bad with the 66 Red Sox. So Tony C gives the Red Sox a 1-0 lead off Earl Wilson, who was a Red Sox at the beginning of the year, but I'm playing historical transaction. He ends up getting traded to Detroit. It was very sad to see him go because he was a great hitting pitcher, and I used to use him as a pinch hitter. Then, in the top of the second, Detroit comes back. They score a run on a hit and a walk. Don Wirt hit a fly ball, sacrifice fly. Detroit scores. It's 1-1. In the third inning, Boston comes back. 1 run on 3 hits. Don Demeters singled, scoring Scott. Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. I'm feeling good about it again. I'm feeling good about it, you know. But then in the 5th, oh, the dreaded 5th and 6th innings coming up. Really good for the Tigers, not so good for the Red Sox. In the 5th, the Tigers sent 8 batters to the plate, scoring 4 runs on 5 hits. Jerry Lumpy singled, scoring Wilson to tie the score at 2-2. Al Kaline doubled, scoring Lumpy to take the lead 3-2. Willie Horton singled to score Cash, made it 4-2 Detroit. Then Jim Northup hit a fly ball, scored the runner from third, made it 5-2. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, I'm still in this ball game. It's, you know, I'm still in this ball game, only down 3. My team's a pretty good offensive team the way I have it set up. I unfortunately had to drop Yastrzemski in the order because he was not hitting. He's not hitting at all. So I had to drop him in the order. I said, okay, well, you know, I can still do this. Then came the 6th. Detroit scored 2 runs on 4 hits. The pitcher, Earl Wilson, who again played for the Red Sox in the beginning of the year, but was traded to Detroit. I use historical transactions in this league. Hit a 2-run homer. That's his 4th home run of the year, and now Detroit goes up 7-2, and I got that sinking feeling. So we go to the 7th. We're down 5. We get 1 run back on 2 hits and a walk. Tony Calignera hits another solo home run, makes it 7-3. So Tony C's homered twice. He now has 23 home runs on the 66 Retro Replay season using Action PC Baseball. And I'm like, I'm feeling kind of good. You know, still got an outside chance. No, we go to the top of the 8th. Detroit comes right back. 3 runs on 3 hits. Dick McCullough hits a solo home run. That's his 17th for the year. Detroit now goes up 8-3. Norm Cash hits a 2-run blast. That's his 30th of the year. Detroit goes up 10-3. That's, you're saying to yourself, that's the last nail in the coffin for the Boston Red Sox. The last nail. Down 10-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. In the bottom of the 8th, the Red Sox rally. They send 11 batters to the plate, scoring 6 runs on 6 hits and 1 walk. George Scott doubled, scoring Santiago, who I had the pitcher, a good hitting pitcher, pinch hit. So that's 10-4. Joe Foy singles, scoring 2 runs. It's now 10-6. Rico Petrocelli singles, scoring a run, makes it 10-7. Dalton Jones singles, another pinch hitter, scoring 2. We pulled to within 1. It's now 10-9. And then Detroit finally gets the 3rd out of the inning. So we go 10-9. We're down 1. We go to the top of the 9th. And I'm like, we still, you know, wow, what a game. Detroit says, not so fast, Al Red Sox fan. Not so fast. In the top of the 9th, Detroit scores 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. Orlando McFarland singled, scoring Northrup. Detroit goes up by 2, 11-9. Now you're thinking, I'm thinking, how many more times can we rally here? But my beloved Red Sox of 1966 had it in them one more time. Don Demeter tripled, scoring Scott, and it's now 11-10. And I'm saying, oh, great, I gave up that 1 run in the top of the 9th that's going to cost me. Okay? Nope, because Joe Foy singled, scoring Demeter. The ball game's tied 11-11. Then Detroit does a heck of a job to get out of it, as I got the game-winning run. The game-winning run with, I think it was 1 out. At 3rd base, and I can't knock him in. We move to the 10th inning. And go to my bullpen. So we go to the 10th. Tied up at 11. In the 10th inning, Detroit sends 7 batters to the plate, scoring 3 runs on 4 hits. This must be the end for the 1966 Red Sox. It's got to be the end in this retro replay. It's got to be the end of this game. Again, 7 batters to the plate for the Tigers, 3 runs on 4 hits. Jim Northrup singled, scoring K-line, and Detroit takes the 1-run lead, 12-11. Didn't stop there. Bill Freeman doubled, scoring 2. Detroit goes up by 3, 14-11. And then comes the bottom of the 10th. The bottom of the 10th. Unbelievable. And in the words of, I like to quote him, the late, great Phil Rizzuto, holy cow, a comeback of biblical proportions. The Red Sox sent 7 batters to the plate, scoring 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. Don Demeter singled, scoring Timlin, 14-12. Tony Calignera walks with the bases loaded, scoring Casco, who came in to pinch hit. There was no one left on my bench. I used everybody in this inning to pinch hit to get out. So now it's 14-13. Joe Foy singles, scoring Scott. Lo and behold, the Red Sox have come all the way back and tied it at 14. Bases loaded. No outs. I think it was no outs. Yeah, bases loaded, no outs. No outs or 1 out. Yastrzemski goes to the plate. Yastrzemski hasn't hit poop in a long time. I carry 3 catchers. The last guy on my bench is a catcher, Mike Ryan, who actually hits left-handers pretty good. His batting average stinks, but he hits left-handers. And I'm like, well, Yastrzemski doesn't hit left-handers. I pinch hit for Carl Yastrzemski as much as it pained me so. Mike Ryan comes off the bench. He singles. Demeter scores. The 66 Red Sox defeat the 66 Tigers 15-14 in 10 innings. Unbelievable. I wish I recorded the game. I didn't. Again, I was watching Chris from Stratomatic Delaware, who's in the chat. Check out his channel, Stratomatic Delaware with Chris. He was doing dice and card games, using Stratomatic between the 1905 Giants and the 1911 Athletics, Philadelphia Athletics, that is. Check out that game. It went extra innings. Great game. And you should subscribe to Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, if you are a baseball fan, as I am. So, that was unbelievable. And I had just beaten the Tigers in extra innings a prior game this afternoon when I was playing. I was on Tabletop Baseball in the chat. We're doing the horse racing game with Earl with an E. It was lots of fun. And I'm playing my baseball game as I'm playing along with the horse racing game. I had another epic game between the Tigers. But this one was even better. I'm like, I have to share this just because I have to talk about it. Chris from Stratomatic Delaware says, I would have rather have watched your game, Al. Awesome. No, you do a great job, Chris. You call a wonderful game. I can envision the game with the way you're describing it. I always take, like what I do, I have more of a visual because I'm using a computer game. You know, what you do, what Tabletop does, baseball demos, Eric when he plays the dice and card games, and anyone else who does that, that's really difficult. You guys do a great job. Hats off to you guys. I use a computer. I do think I give a pretty good call of the game. I think it's fun. I like doing it just like you said. It's fun to do it. And if people enjoy it, you get a few people in there. You can chat some baseball. It's fun. I like it. But hats off to you guys who do the dice and cards. It's wonderful stuff. And thank you very much. All right, so Norm Cash went 2 for 6, a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs knocked in. Al Kaline for Detroit, 4 for 6, 2 doubles, 3 runs. Dick McAuliffe, 2 for 4 with a home run. Jim Northrup, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Earl Wilson, the pitcher. 3 for 3, a double, a home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. Excellent hitting pitcher. And now let's go to the Red Sox, who won the game, once again, 15-14 in the 10th, rallying to score 4 runs in the bottom of the 10th after being down 3. Tony C., player of the game, Tony Calignero, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Don Demeter, 4 for 7, a triple, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. Joe Foy, who could have easily been also an MVP or a co-MVP, and I think I'm going to give him a co-MVP, 6 for 7, a double and 4 runs knocked in. Rico Petrocelli, 3 for 4 with 2 walks. George Scott came off the bench, went 3 for 4, double and 4 runs scored. Don McMahon got the win out of relief. He pitched a third of an inning, and now he's 5-1 on the year. The losing pitcher out of the bullpen for Detroit, Hank Aguirre, he pitched a third of an inning. And in that, is that right? It does say a dot. That might be an inning. That might be. I'm going to show you the pitching line after. So 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks. He drops to 3-4 on the season. Okay, let's just go to the pitching. And again, please feel free if you're watching and you're one of the regulars for my channel who plays sports sims, jump in the chat, share what you're doing with us, and if you do have a channel, share that. We're going to plug it. We got Chris from Stratomatic Delaware in the chat. Check out Stratomatic Delaware with Chris. He's doing a nice dead ball season. I think he said with 6 teams. And Chris, if you just want to throw the 6 teams you're using in your mini season in the dead ball era in the chat, I'll read it out. So check out Chris from Stratomatic Delaware. All right, let's go to the pitching. Again, just an incredible game. I wish I recorded it. But I was watching Chris playing my game. It was just a great evening. Lots of fun stuff. So, for Detroit, Earl Wilson went 6 2/3, 12 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. He gave up 2 home runs to Tony Calignero, walked 2, struck out 8. He was in line for the win. You're thinking, holy cow, again, they're up huge. Going into the 7th inning, you know, going into the bottom of the 8th, they're up, let's see, 5, 7, 10, 11. Oh, all right, bottom of the 8th, they're 11 to 3. So you're thinking Earl Wilson's getting a win. Well, it didn't happen that way, folks. Then Gladden came in. He pitched a third of an inning. He got He didn't do anything. He only pitched that third. No, he got the out. And Pena came in. He pitched a third of an inning. He was a disaster for the Detroit. 5 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 1 walk. Sherry came in. He blew his save. That's his 7th blown save. An inning and 2/3. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 2. Wickersham didn't get an out. 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. And then Aguirre, he did pitch a third. He blew his 2nd save. He took the loss. 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks. So there was 1 out in the bottom of the 10th when Ryan singled in the game-winning run. For the Red Sox, Sheldon started, and he pitched okay until the 5th and 6th. Again, not one of the better pitchers on the 66 Red Sox. I had to use him because I'm overusing my other pitchers who are better. And their productivity will go down if you overuse them too much. You can overuse them a bit to an extent. So he went 6 innings, 13 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 1 home run, 1 walk, struck out 3. Stigman came in, 2 innings, again, not one of my better pitchers. 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, gave up 2 home runs, struck out 4. Then we used Wyatt for an inning and 2/3, 6 hits, and he actually did not pitch well. 4 runs, and he's my closer. That's when we got back in the ball game, so I brought Wyatt in, but he got hammered. 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 1, struck out 1. Again, that was in the top of the 10th, so he gave up those. He had given up a run in the top of the 9th, and then he gave up 3 more in the top of the 10th. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. McMahon actually came in just to get out of the top of the 10th. He pitched a third of an inning, and he got the out. We go to the bottom of the 10th, pick up 4 runs, we win the game. Now, watch this. So this is the box score, batting-wise. We jump to the chat. Once again, we have Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. He says, the teams in his dead ball era league, dice and cards using Stratomatic baseball, the 1905 Giants, the 1906 Cubs, the 1909 Pirates, the 1909 Pirates and Tigers, and the 1911 Athletics, the 1919 White Sox, a.k.a. the Black Sox. He says, I'm thinking each team gets 2 two-game series against the other 5 teams, 2 home, 2 away. That sounds excellent, Chris. I like that idea. And Chris also says, then top 2 teams in the best of 7. Number 1 team gets What's HM? I miss HFM. Wow, I can't. It's probably something really simple. Small ball at its best. So the championship will be the best out of 7 top 2 teams. Yeah, small ball is a lot of fun to play when you're playing the retro replays. I made a joke in your chat. Hey, it said, it's like playing the 77 Mets. I never know how they're going to score. So, also, Chris, I got to tell you, I made a joke saying home run Baker in the offseason. Home field advantage. Got it. Thank you, Chris. I made a joke about home run Baker that he was in the offseason a candlestick maker, going back to that old nursery rhyme. And you kind of went with it, and I was like, I'm going to be quiet now. That was a little joke. So I just want to tell you that. All right, so again, for Detroit, McCullough, 2 for 4, a run and an RBI walk, and he had a home run. Lumpy, the second baseman, 2 for 4, a run, an RBI, and a strikeout. Wood, the pinch hitter, he had 2 at-bats, 1 for 2, a run scored. Cash, 2 for 6, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, he struck out once. K-Line, 4 for 6, 3 runs, 1 RBI, he struck out twice, and he doubled twice. Horton, 1 for 5, a run knocked in, a walk, and a K. Northrup, 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a strikeout. It was a slow-pitch softball game, folks. Wirt, 2 for 5, a run, and an RBI, and a double. McFarland, the catcher, 2 for 5, a run, an RBI, he struck out twice. Oler, pinch runner, didn't get an at-bat. Freehand, 1 for 1. knocked in 2 runs. He came in afterwards to catch. He had a double. Wilson, the pitcher, as I stated, 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 runs knocked in, and he doubled and had a home run. And then Gladden pitched, no at-bats. Stanley pinch hitter 0 for 1. Pena pitched, no at-bats. Sherry pitched, got an at-bat. He was 0 for 1. Brown, the pinch hitter, 0 for 1. Wickersham pitched, no at-bats. And Aguirre, who took the loss, no at-bats. In total, in this slugfest at Fenway Park, in which the Red Sox won 15-14 in 10 magnificent innings, the Tigers, 49 at-bats, 14 runs, 23 hits, 14 RBIs, 2 walks. Whew. 8 strikeouts, 6 doubles, and 3 home runs. They left 23 runners on base. Now for the victorious 1966 Boston Red Sox. Tartabull played center field. He was 1 for 2. He had a triple. Scott came in because Tartabull got hurt and we had to move Demeter from first to center. He ended up getting 4 at-bats. He was 3 for 4, 4 runs scored, an RBI and a walk, and he had a double. Don Demeter, 4 for 7. 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs with a triple. Tony C., player of the game, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 1 walk. He homered twice. Joe Foy, I'm giving him co-player of the game, 6 for 7, 1 run scored, 4 runs knocked in. He doubled. Yastrzemski did get a hit, but he's been struggling at the plate. We dropped him in the order. As you can see, he's batting after Foy here. 1 for 5 with a run, scored a walk, and he struck out 3 times. He had a double. Ryan came in to pinch hit for Yastrzemski in the bottom of the 10th, and he drove in the game-winning run, 1 for 1 with the game-winning RBI. Petrocelli, 3 for 4, an RBI and 2 walks. Hillman, the catcher, to start the game, 1 for 6. Actually, he caught the whole game. We did use all 3 of our catchers, though. 1 for 6 with a run scored and a strikeout. Smith, the second baseman, 0 for 3. He had the hat trick. He K'd 3 times. Dalton Jones came in to pinch hit and play second late in the game, 1 for 2, and he knocked in 2 runs on his 1 hit. Casco came in to pinch hit off the bench because he hits left-handers. He was 1 for 1, and he scored in that magnificent bottom of the 10th. Sheldon pitched, was 0 for 2, struck out twice. Green came in to pinch hit, 1 for 1. Stigman pitched and not getting at bat. Santiago, he pinched it. He actually batted twice in the bottom of the 8th. He was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Wyatt pitched and not getting at bat. McMahon pitched and not getting at bat. Thomas was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. I thought he got hit by a pitch, but I don't recall. Anyway, in total for the Boston Red Sox, in this 15-14 extra inning, 10th inning victory, 53 at-bats, 15 runs, 27 hits, 15 RBIs, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 31 runners left on base. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Just an incredible game. I just felt like sharing it with you guys. It was so much fun. Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware says, I get it now. Quick on the stick there, buddy. Thank you, Chris. All right, well, this is Al, Red Sox fan, saying thank you very much for Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, jumping in the chat. I just wanted to review that, and if anyone else was there, we're going to talk about what they're doing, but no one else has jumped in, so that's great. It's Monday night, Labor Day. Everyone's recovering from a long weekend. Again, prayers and thoughts go out to your mom, Chris. Healthy, speedy recovery to her. Take care, my friend, and to everyone, health, happiness, take care, bye-bye, and God bless.